And I divided in three sections. Under section 1, we have chapter 1, A New Science Has Emerged. Chapter 2, The Truth About Planetary, Stellar, and Galactic Civilizations, as proposed by our new science. Chapter 3, The Angelic Connection as revealed by ancient esoteric wisdom. Chapter 4, Our Cosmic Divine Origin. Chapter 5, Our Universe is Bigger Than What We Were Told. Chapter 6, All universes and all creations operate according to universal laws and are governed by multiple celestial, etheric, and material administrations or councils of light that have been set up by the great source of all creation. Section 2, Chapter 7, A Brief History of Our Galaxy. Chapter 8, The Formation of the Galactic Federation of Free Worlds, the Benevolent Watchers. Chapter 9, The Connection to the Pleiadians, or Jerusalem. Chapter 10, The Real History of the Earth is more than just a few thousand years. Chapter 11, The Fall of Atlantis was the fall of men. Chapter 12, From the Fall of Atlantis to the Rise of the New Era between 12,000 BC to 6,000 BC. Chapter 13, When Kingship was lowered from heaven, Nibiru, to earth. Chapter 14, The Inheritors and Successors of the Order of these Scenes from about 900 AD to the present. Section 3, Chapter 15, The Rise of the Angelic Humans Among Us. Chapter 16, The Return of the Host of Heaven and the Reestablishment of the Office of the Christ. Chapter 16. Chapter 17, Cosmic Cycles and the Precession of the Equinoxes. That chapter will explain more in detail the ancient calendrical systems that were preserved by the Mayans, known as the Mayan calendar. Chapter 18, A Vision of the Next 2,000 Years. So that is the table of contents. So I strongly believe that a new era has arrived, the seventh golden age that was not only prophesied in the ancient oracles, but also in our Bible is at hand. For a new reality has precipitated in our world in this greatest dispensation bestowed ever upon mankind, and it is indicated by the coming union of science, spirituality, and philosophy. The preface. In the 4th century BC, a mob of religious zealots destroyed the last storehouse of information relating to the ancient knowledge of records from the times before the Great Flood. This was the Library of Alexandria, and the last of its keeper was a guardian by the name of Hypatia, who was murdered by this fanatical religious mob. Over hundreds of thousands of literature was burned to ashes, everything from the prehistory of our world to philosophy, science, and even metaphysics. As a result of burning down this ancient library, our world fell into darkness for about 1,300 years. It was only about 500 years ago that our Western world climbed out of the long-dreaded Dark Ages due to a few important records of the ageless wisdom that were secretly preserved. They survived in the secret societies of medieval times under the banner of the Brotherhood of the Quest, or the Great White Brotherhood, who, despite their oppression, were able to eventually bring our world out of the Dark Ages through the historical event that became known as the Renaissance. The Quest was the return of spiritual knowledge to mankind, which in turn would catapult us into the promised Seventh Golden Age, as revealed in those ancient records. This information is not new, nor does it belong to one person. It is the ancient lost knowledge that could be traced back into antiquity, and it belongs to those that seek it. The times have changed, and today mankind has arrived at a new dispensation. Therefore, the age of wars and secret societies is coming to a close. For in the new era, all mankind will be initiated into the higher mysteries and given the opportunity to reach their full potential, and that era has arrived. Remember, I was talking about the process of descent is now reversing, so now we are ascending and we are all being exalted to different levels of immortality. As a result, where am I? The quest for the return, the information. The quest was the return of spiritual knowledge to mankind, which in turn would catapult us into the promised seventh golden age, as revealed in those ancient records. This information is not new, nor does it belong to one person. It is the ancient lost knowledge that can be traced back into antiquity, and it belongs to those that seek it. The times have changed, and today mankind has arrived at a new dispensation. Therefore, the age of wars and secret societies is coming to a close, for in the new era, all mankind will be initiated into the higher mysteries and given the opportunity to reach their full potential, and that era has arrived. The book is therefore dedicated to all those men and women of the Brotherhood of the Quest, like Hypatia, and later the legendary Guardians of the Holy Grail, the Knights of the Temple, the Sufis, as well as the networks of the East in Tibet, China, and India. These networks have for centuries secretly guarded the information that is now once again emerging in the 21st century. This is the spiritual knowledge of the ageless wisdom that is awakening mankind into a higher purpose and meaning of life. It unveils the information we need in preparation for the manifestation of a new heaven on earth. The information in this book was derived from a combination of both collective research based on intangible investigative records, as well as intuitive research based on channeling information from the higher realms. Most importantly, the information provided in this material is backed by the new cutting-edge science. May the living light of our Creator shine once again throughout all mankind. This book is meant to awaken people in this time of restoration. It is not your typical book, but a revelation and message for those that are meant to know the truth. It will help you understand more clearly the flood of information that is emerging in these wonderful times. Most importantly, it is a book of initiation for the masses who, upon reading this book, will have a spiritual awakening. Consider each chapter in mind, for each chapter has a clear and strong message so that you